Okay, so next we're going to talk about why there is no such thing as failure on this system. Essentially, this is a transformational system, and in transformation, there's no such thing as failure. There was only quitting. So that's what we're going to talk about here today. So there is no such thing as failure. Okay, when you fail, you are learning. You're not failing, and really, in the next slide, we'll talk about this. The only way to fail is to quit. So if you don't do that, you're not failing, you're learning. So when you have, and this, look, this system has bumpers built into it to make sure that if you screw it up, you don't do well in any given week, it's fine because we'll take care of it in the next week. You know, if you have a bad day, that's fine. We'll take care of it the rest of the week. The bumpers are built in, and there's some significant bumpers. So whichever path you're on, you can't fail unless you just quit. Failure is a flawed concept when you're working on transformation. This is a transformative process. This is not it's not an end result process. Okay. As long as that process can move forward, that process can move forward. It can stagnate. It can even regress. But as long as you're still engaged in the process, you're succeeding. And also the human brain needs breaks. And so we built breaks into this. The way we structure this, you have basically periods where you do the work, you have periods when you come off it, and you have periods where you come back to the work, and you have periods where you come off of it. And when we get into some of the meditation techniques that we teach, if you've never done meditation before, one of the primary uh, ways that you view meditation is you you focus on what you're focused on, whatever it is, and your mind will wander. And when your mind wanders and you realize that it's wandered, you just gently bring it back to the focus. And this is the same thing. When you wander away from your path, you just gently bring yourself back to the path. Sometimes we build that in because you need those breaks. And the body needs recovery time. So that's the other thing. The body takes time to process these changes. Uh, One of the things that we teach is that we're going to change your mind long before we get your body fully changed. The body is going to take months and months and months to respond. The mind, we can get it done in weeks. You know, we can have your mind changed over in weeks. Part of changing your mind is what you'll learn along the course here is that there are chemical changes. So these are physical changes that need to happen. So those can take a little bit more time. But your mindset, your goals, your habits, your day-to-day approach to these things, and even the chemistry change relatively rapidly. What takes time is for the cellular change to happen, for you to actually burn the fat, lose the fluid, drop the weight, have your skin retract, have your muscles tone, actually grow more muscle mass. That takes time, and that's how you transform your body into, a naturally lean and healthy body. You got to give it that time. How long does it take? This is what we always say. It takes the time it takes. It depends on you. It depends on which path you're on. It depends on how far you have to go. It depends on how much weight you have to lose, how much muscle you have to rebuild, etc. But downtime from your path should be viewed as recovery time and as regathering energy and regaining focus, not failure. Okay, when you come off your path, that's a good thing. It is downtime, and you view that as recovery time. You're letting your mind come off of the hard work of doing this reset, of losing weight, of fixing your health, of regenerating your body. That's work, okay? And just like your job, you need time off. So we structure that in, and sometimes your brain will just do it for you. You'll just find yourself off the path, and that's okay. As long as you don't quit, you stay focused on, you stay engaged in the process, you're still succeeding. So we talked about this one already, like in meditation. When you find yourself wandering away from the path, just gently return to it. No forcing, no guilt, no judgment. Just gently correct where you're heading, refocus on the steps in front of you, and begin moving toward your goals again. You never have to quit. Instead of quitting, all you do is you move down a level or two, or even three. If you're on a full 30-day reset, that's a level 4 uh, difficulty. It's the highest level of difficulty we have in this system. If you're doing that, you're engaged in it, and for some reason you have to come off of it, or if for some reason it's just way too hard, you can move down to level 3. Not quite as much clean eating, not quite as much dietary restriction during the week. Or you know, if you're really burned for some reason, you come down to level 2 or even level 1, where you just go back to natural normal eating. You're not even tracking anymore. You're just eating the way that you're just, you know, attempting to eat the way you should eat. You can even come off of all of it and just, you know, just sort of not even worry about it for a week or two. And that's okay as long as you come back to it. But you got to come back to it. If you come back to it, these tools will be here for you for the rest of your life. You can always use these tools. Look, eventually, if you stick with this, you will take the weight off. It's guaranteed. And if you feel like it's not, you call me, you send me an email, we talk about it, because there's no way that this doesn't work for everybody. I don't care what your genetics are. I don't care what your metabolism is. I don't care what other reasons you think that there might be that you can't lose weight. This will work for you. It will reset your metabolism. It will work with your genetics, and it will work. We set it up to work for your genetics. Okay. Everybody is different, but they're basically, you know, 4 to 6 different types of people. There are medical conditions. There are things we have to work around, but this will work for you. So, if you have trouble with it for some reason, get in touch with us. We'll help you fix it. And life will get in the way. There will be things that'll happen constantly. I mean, life gets in the way. For me, even for me, as much as I know how to do this, it happens to me every few weeks to a few months. A trip comes up. I have to go somewhere. I travel terribly. I have a really hard time going to a grocery store and buying food when I'm on the road. And today in the United States, there's not a lot of good options out there otherwise if you're traveling. Restaurant food is horrible nowadays. Fast food is absolutely atrocious. There's just nothing to eat out there unless you're willing to go to the grocery store, sit in your room, and sort of make your own salads and stuff like that. You can go out and find salads. We have techniques for this stuff, but quite honestly, it's just when you're traveling, you're tired, you're beat down, you don't feel like messing around. And as long as you know you have tools when you get home to take care of yourself, and as long as you don't really, you know, drastically overdo it and hurt yourself while you're on the road, you can let yourself go a little bit. And that happens to me a lot. You know, I have to go out on road trips that I didn't plan. I'm in the middle of a cycle or whatever, and bam, next thing you know, I'm up in Wisconsin for 10 days and I've gained 12 pounds. And it'll take a couple weeks to take that back off again. So, but I have the tools. I know I have the tools that when I get home, I can deal with it. When life does get in the way, you just drop back for a week or two. You know, even drop back all the way down to level 1 where you're just trying to eat as cleanly as you can and you're not really doing anything else. When you have to go on vacation, don't try to stay on a fasting protocol. Don't even really, you know, it's good to always work on making wholesome choices with food and minimizing alcohol. Okay, I don't care if you're on vacation or not. That's sort of a responsibility you have to your future self and to your body, and to your family and to all the other reasons that you want to get healthy and lose weight. So that said, enjoy your vacations. You know, have a couple drinks, have you know, good rich food. That's what you're there for. So vacations come up. Don't try to stay on a fasting protocol. Enjoy your vacation and come back and use the tools to recover from it. That's what you do. Business trips and other types of trips. When you travel for work, do the best you can. That's what I was just talking about with myself. And again, come back and use the tools to get back on track. Holidays, same thing. You know, Christmas comes up once a year. Thanksgiving comes up once a year. Those are festive times. Those are feasting times. New Year's is kind of a party time. Even Halloween, it's a candy time. I'm just thinking of my own stuff. Easter, it's a candy time and a feasting time. This is the way that I look at these for myself. And yeah, I'm going to eat what I want to eat during those periods. You know, I got family in town, or I'm at their place. We're celebrating, we're hanging out, we're doing whatever we do. I don't heavily restrict myself. I do pay attention, and I encourage you to do the same. Pay attention to what I'm eating. And, you know, I do recognize that when I get home, I'm going to have to do a lot of work if I really throw down. So one of the things that this reset does for you is it keeps you from wanting to throw down as much. In fact, it keeps you from being able to. I remember we went out to a Mexican restaurant after when I just finished a 30-day reset period with my parents during holiday last year or early in this year. Um, and because I'd been doing the 30-day, and I think I was in my second 30-day, which is a level 3 basically. It's not the full cleanse, but I had been doing it for, over 30 days. And I wanted to go out and eat Mexican and have a couple margaritas and maybe a beer and have, full Mexican feast. I was only able to eat half my plate and I drank half a margarita. I just couldn't do it. I just didn't want it. So that's what this will do. This will change the way that you enjoy food. I still loved it. I enjoyed it. Took food home, enjoyed it the next day. It was great. But it just reduces the ability to stuff yourself full. And I'm a pretty big guy. I can, when I'm throwing down, I can throw down. But I couldn't do it that night. Didn't want to. Perfectly happy with the way it went. I loved it. I was excited that I didn't, go out and crush my progress. And that's what this will do for you. So here's a little quote. It does not matter how slowly you go, so long as you do not stop. That's by Confucius. And then Jack Ma said this. I thought this was an interesting quote. Never give up. Today is hard. Tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow will be sunshine. And that's a great quote to describe how to look at your path, whichever path you start on. So the other thing that you have access to, so the other thing you have access to is your coaches uh, and your community, and you want to use them when things get hard, and they will get hard. Reach out to the community. Reach out. These are people. This is a community of people who are doing the same thing you're doing. They're going through it. They're having these experiences. They understand what you're feeling. They understand what to do about it. And your coaches are there to make sure that your questions are answered when you think, hey, I'm doing something wrong or this isn't feeling right or whatever. They're professionals that not only know it, but they're certified or licensed in these practices. So the most powerful agent for change is surrounding yourself with people that are doing what you want to do and that have expectations of you that you want to meet. And that is a science-based mode of operation for the human brain. Their support, their expectations of you, their example, these are the things that will almost automatically make you into a different person. This is the concept of you are who you hang out with. So this is the concept of you are who you spend time with. Okay, so spend time with your community here, your fuel community. Spend time with your coaches. Spend time with yourself, meditating, thinking about your vision for yourself, thinking about your goals. And if you have people in your life that are not supportive, minimize your conversations about what you're doing with them, because a lot of people, a lot of the reason that a lot of people gain weight or maintain weight or can't lose weight is because of their social circle. And we're not saying drop your social circle, change your friends, etc. We're not saying that at all. In fact, we want you to influence them. We want you to bring them along with you. But a lot of people don't want to come with you on this journey. All right? A lot of people want to keep doing what they're doing. A lot of people have no desire at the stage of life that they're in to make these levels of changes and make these, commit to this level of change. You have decided to do that, and that is something that is incredible and amazing. But remember that the people around you may not share your exuberance for that level of change. And when that's the case, we're not saying cut them off, but what we are saying is be aware of that fact, be respectful of their position, and spend your time, start spending your time with other people who are interested in the things that you're interested in. And you will find that it provides a massive amount of support for your emotionally, for your mind to engage in this process. And this is science. It's the way we're wired. You almost can't help becoming like the people you spend time with. Whether they are the people that are not doing the things you want to do, you'll become more like them if you spend time with them. Or they are the people who are doing the things you want to do, you'll become more like them if you spend time with them. So use your community, use your coaches. We're here for you. Okay, so next we're going to talk about why there is no such thing as failure on this system. Essentially, this is a transformational system, and in transformation, there's no such thing as failure. There was only quitting. So that's what we're going to talk about here today.